Hello, my profane friends. Oh my God. Let me just get the mic. Because the speak the right company, it's the translation. It's not a language. It is only a slang. First originated in England. Anyway, I love my little songs. This is just a short one. This is right, just to follow up to the video I've just done. Okay. Now this is the Masonic Lodge in the Alamo. Okay, the Alamo. You know, where I was just showing you where they had the fight in Mexico, right? And I forgot about this, and obviously, you know, like I said, my mind raced and I forget stuff. But this is the Alamo, yeah, the Masonic Lodge in the Alamo, yeah. And here they are. Look, there's David Bowie there, look, and you know, all of them with the Alamo. And here they are, look, they're marching look, up beside the Alamo. Do you know what I mean? And there they are. Look. Anyway, the Masonic Lodge in the Alamo, right? Watch this. And I forgot about this, so I forgot to tell you. Look at this, I was so excited I could crush a grape. Anyway, the birthplace of the Freemasons in the West Texas. Yeah, this plaque was dedicated in January 15th, 1948 by Alamo Lodge, commemorating one of the 100th anniversary of the chartering of the lodge and honouring those pioneer Masons of that era who founded the lodge upon this site, okay? So anyway, the Alamo is, like I said, is a Masonic lodge, right? And like I said, all lodge wars, all Freemason wars, regardless of where you are, what you are Masonic wars, okay? And look, why we remember, this is why Freemasons remember the Alamo, okay, in Mexico. During his years, 1998, Grand Master Harry G. Cuddington had his emblem, the emblem mission, overlaid with the square and compasses, yeah? This emblem should not hold special meaning to all Texas Masons. The Alamo should be remembered as the place where the Mexican army, under the command of General, now remember this geezer, remember him, remember the G, the General, okay? General Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna, right? He stormed a former Mexican mission defended by a band of Texans fighting for their independence. Among the defenders were the Masonic brothers James Boham, Jim Bowie, David Crocker, Almaron Dixon and Colonel William Barrett Travis, right? In rooms where priests had prayed, bayonets clashed with Bowie knives and swords. Muskets and cannon fire tore into the Texan defenders. By dawn, all the Texan combatants lay dead. The sacrifice of March 6, 1836 would immortalise them as legends and turn the Alamo grounds into a sacred ground for Freemasonry. Each year, more than 3 million. Anyway, they go on about this. Look, the Alamo, the command. Look, Brother William Travers, commander of the Alamo garrison, is said to have drawn a line in the sand. Then all the brave Masons stepped over the line to stay. Yeah. Only months after the defenders, boom, boom, boom. I don't want to get too much, but here they are, look, the Freemasons again, yeah, doing the Alamo and their bit, yeah. But it's remembering the Freemasons on both sides that fell during the Masonic War of the Masonic War lodges, okay. Now watch this, okay. Obviously I've shown you these plaques where they've got plaques up for David Bowie and all that malarkey, yeah. You can come and read this here, yeah, right. After fighting for 13 days, 3,000 Mexicans defeated 182 Texans in the Alamo. What that should say is, after fighting for 13 days, 3,000 Freemasons, along with a load of profane people, defeated 182 Texan Freemasons at the Alamo because they were fighting over a Masonic lodge. Okay? But you can come and read this yourself, right? It's on Grand Lodges of Texas, why we remember the Alamo, okay? But now watch this, look. This is why I love this. Look, why did Sam Houston spare the life of Santana at San Jacinto, okay? Over the years, articles regarding Houston's treatment of Santana at San Jacinto, reportedly taken from files of early newspapers, have appeared in our Masonic publications. In the main, these articles have attributed Houston's refusal to permit the execution of Santana to his having given Houston the Masonic sign of distress. As a result, these articles, it now seems to be accepted belief of many members of the fraternity that the humane treatment accorded or afforded Santa Anna by Houston was in direct response to the giving of the sign. So he spared his life. Do you see what I mean? That's the Grand Halen sign. Yeah. Okay. There's little doubt that if it occurred to him to do so, Santa Anna did give the sign, along with any persuasive promises which he believed might in any possible way contribute towards saving him from execution. His execution was urgently sought by some of the officers and many of the soldiers, some of whom had lost friends and relatives as well as their homes. As a result, Santa Anna's insane desire to destroy everyone and everything that stood in the way of his subjection of all Texas to his despotic rule. Okay, well, all the many Houston biographies and replete blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? I am General Antonio Sshhed, President of the Masonic Planet, and I claim to be a prisoner of war. Do you know what I mean? If the left arm was in the front in the form of a square, members of the fray would recognise part of the sign, which Santa may have generously thought to be the sign of distress. Do you know what I mean? But basically, come and read it yourself. Yeah, I'm not going to get into it all. But look, watch this. Santa Anna's, right, masonry confirmed. Okay, so he was a Freemason. Do you see what I mean? And this is where, you know, they blur the truth of history. Do you know what I mean? Because they don't mention do not mention the Freemasons in anything. Do you see what I mean? They don't want to be a part of a war, because then people start pointing fingers at you. Look what you did during the World War. Look what you did. Do you know what I mean? See, so they don't want that. They want their little reputation kept clean and, you know, as it is. But now, because the years have gone past and they think that don't matter anymore. Do you know what I mean? So now they, you know, like both sides are getting, you know, the glory. Look, in 13 Days to Glory, the siege of the Alamo, author Lonnie claims that Santa was a Mason. Do you see what I mean? So it was a Freemason war. That's what it was. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? That's all it ever is a Freemason war. Do you know what I mean? So there you go. Do you know what I mean? And again, I'll let you do your own. Look, he received the 32 degree of the Scottish Rite on December the 12th, 1825. This document provides proof of all Santa Anna Masonic membership and thus eliminates a major argument of historians who question the Santa Jacinto story. So he got spared because he gives the old Grand Halen sign. But this is what they do for each other, you see, regardless. So learn your Masonic signs like I do, you know. That's what all I learned really, is how to recognise a Freemason in public life. Do you know what I mean? And they've given me plenty of signs. You know, when I was in Bristol, they'd done all sorts of stuff. But you know, that's another story. But you know, this is what you need to do: recognise your Freemason in public. Do you know what I mean? Give the signs, so they give you the sign back. Do you know what I mean? Then you know who you're dealing with. Do you see what I mean? You know, whether they're dancing with little hankies in the troll cart on their shoulders or whatever else they're doing, you know what I mean? Or following you about all the streets or hounding you or whatever else, do you know what I mean? Yeah, so there you go. That's, again, a Masonic war, do you know what I mean? Santa Anna's Masonic membership confirmed. So the Battle of Alamo was not about this, that, and the other. It was a Masonic, again, war. Do you see what I mean? It's a Masonic war, you know? And that's provided by the Texas Scottish Rite of Freemasonry. So I haven't made that up. This is their own, you know, thingy. And I forgot to, you know, like I said, if you look at most wars, yeah, and just look at the leaders, who's in charge, they're Freemasons, yeah. And like I said, back in the day, the generals, you know, like when Napoleon, I remember him now, Napoleon and I forgot the other bloody dude now. My bloody history. Napoleon and the Duke of Wellington, was it? Yeah, Duke of Wellington or whatever. But that's why they sat on the hills. Do you see what I mean? And then all the other, like the profane people, are fighting all their wars, you know what I mean? But all the Freemasons were in the war room, you know, a bit like Churchill, you know, doing his battle fronts, and, you know, Hitler and blah. But it's who wins in the end, you see what I mean? It's a Masonic war. All wars are to do with Freemasonry, because they run the towns, they run the city, they run their towns, they run the counties, they run whatever. So any war that breaks out is to do with Freemasonry, nothing else. And all they're looking for is money, land and gold, you know what I mean, to own it. And obviously in recent times it's been oil, isn't it? You know, so that's what Freemasonry is all about. You know, it's all about land grabbing, gold grabbing, titles, land. You know what I mean? That's why they've got everything, because they've won the wars. Do you know what I mean? But they've won the wars on the pretense of something else. Do you see what I mean? Because they're snidey little buggers, aren't they? But that's what it's about, you know. When they have a world war or a civil war, whatever it may, you know, whatever that may be, that's what it's about. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, the North and the South, you know, about the thingy, that was Masonic wars. Do you know what I mean? And that's why we now got, you know, obviously, if the South would have won, there still would have been sort of slavery, if you get what I mean. But that's why now we've got, you know, thingy. I'd see, I'll never get into all that. You know, that's why we've now got. See, I can't even remember what they're called now. You know, the the bloody, what's his names? You know what I'm on about anyway. The, you know, coloured. You know, I'll call it coloured, whatever. You know what I mean? That's why you got coloured lodges now. Do you know what I mean? Prince, whatever it is, isn't it? Yeah, I can't remember. See, like I said, my mind race. I get so excited, I forget stuff. But that's why you get Prince lodges now. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I'll go into some of the stuff. You know, I mean, like some of them, even then, even though they give them, you know, the Freemasonry thing, because Freemasons know, yeah, it's better to have people on your side than not. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, and if you control that, then people, yeah, regardless of what it is, like I said, then you control that. You know, you control it all, don't you? You know what I mean? So, and you have to put your own people in power, don't you? Do you know what I mean? But let them people run their own self, but they only, you know, they still answer to you, sort of thing, if you get what I mean. But yeah, but they call them Negroes. You know, Negroes. You know, like there's if I just like. That's what they called them in, you know, back in the day and all that, and they weren't allowed to join membership. I've got books on it anyway, I could upload them as well, so it don't matter, you know, it's not like a major mission, but I didn't want to get into that because that's where they try and do the divide and conquer again. Do you know what I mean? If I put like LERGRO, you know, and it's like Ask Another Brother and that, and there's books like that. Prince Hall, that's it, sorry. You know, and it's like, you know, it's Ask Another Brother and all that. There's like a puzzle, a quiz book, you know what I mean, where they actually quizzed people, like on the thingy, you know what I mean. We put in Ask a Brother, right there, and I'll show you what I mean, rather than do that. Ask, I'm more than likely to get this video banned because of that now. Damn it. Ask a Brother, BROTH, but it's only part of like history anyway, isn't it? You know, I mean, I didn't make none of this. There it is. Look, Ask a Brother, 1,001 questions to ask Masons, yeah. And in there's like, you know, like, you know, I don't even know how to say it without being like, you know, well, I don't want to be offensive to anyone or, you know, sort of like whatever. So, but that's what that is. I mean, I'll upload the book if anyone's interested, and it ain't like a hard thing. Ask a brother another, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, don't say know what I mean. People keep saying know what you mean, you know what I mean? But this is what it's all about, you know, and they get into the detail of that, do you know what I mean? You know, ask a brother another, you know what I mean? So yeah, so that's what that's all about. And yeah, here it is. Look, Ask Me Another Brother, you know what I mean? I think that one's that's worth, but it's been sold on eBay, you know what I mean? But when you like me, you can you know, you can, but that's what that's all about. Ask Me Another Brother, do you know what I mean? Do. Yeah, I thought I could get some of the questions up. I'll get my book out anyway, do you know what I mean? And that'll be on here. Look, there's some of the questions here, do you know what I mean? Was Benjamin College, in which American college was Masonry first established? But they ain't got the, you know, they ain't got the thing about the, you know, the coloured sort of thing. So, but there is stuff in there about it, do you know what I mean, in the book. You know, so yeah, that's, you know, that's all about the, you know, the different, you know, the different, you know, the different aspects of the lodge or whatever. But anyway, like I said, Santana, Freemason, Davy Crockett and all them are Freemason. Just another Masonic war. Do you know what I mean? Another Masonic war. So when they tell you, you know, oh yeah, the Alamo. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, the Alamo, another Masonic war. Do you know what I mean? North and South Masonic war. First World War, Masonic war. Second World War, Masonic war. You Masons have got a lot to answer for, but they don't put their name up front. Remember that. They don't answer to nothing and blamed for nothing. Remember that. You know, that's all to do with them. You know, they're the ones making all the choices in your councils, you know, in your town halls, and then they're making it, you know, the directory up in, you know, the people who are in there now. Boris Johnson, he's deciding, you know, what's going on. But if anyone like a lodge steps out, they go after him. Do you know what I mean? You know, you will bow down. But obviously they've sorted a lot of it out now over the years, haven't they? But You know, back in the day they didn't. That's why there was a lot of wars. But there you go. I thought I'd give you a little bit of history on that. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Baby.